Hi, everybody. I'm Ambarish, Mitra, founder and CEO of Blippar. And as you see on the slide here, it says AR and computer vision and impact on AR city life. But before we dive a little bit into that detail, today one of my roles is to educate you slightly about how truly AR works and why is it important, and almost make you semi-technology geniuses. You'll go and show off to other people once you get out of here. Secondly is to inspire you. And lastly, to show you stuff you've never seen before. We have some sort of a world's first kind of announcement today. So moving on, for those of you who don't know in the room what Blippar is about, that's the only point I'll talk about Blippar today. We are a computer vision and AI-based company. And for last 6 years, we've been trying to index the entire physical world. That's our vision. And we want you and technology companies, as individuals and businesses, to have this platform on top of which you can add your own content. So our vision is that if the whole world becomes a platform, the physical world, that is the promise of augmented reality. You could engage with it in a whole new way. So, but why is this so important? So let's talk a little bit about the history. This is the evolution of hardwares in computing device, and we are seeing a strange correlation of intelligence and our cognitive function to evolution of hardware. So before, of course, desktop computing was a traditional input-based device, and it wasn't very ergonomic, but we still use it. But eventually, majority goals of computer makers or thinkers in the tech space, that actually the purpose of computers is to act as assistants in our life, and they need to become almost more human like us. And of course, artificial intelligence is playing a big role there. So we're already seeing how touch is a human function, and touch-based computing became really dominant from mid-2005. And then to hear and to talk is a very core human function, and that's when natural language processing with Siri, Cortana, and now Alexa, they've all become very dominant forms. And the promise of AR and VR is fundamentally a computer vision problem. Many people still do not realize that augmented reality is a subset of computer vision as an industry, not the other way around. I mean, computer vision is like the ocean, and AR is a small island in it. It's important to note that the most important word in augmented reality is not the augmentation piece, it's the reality piece. Unless computers understand reality, which is through your cameras, how can we scale augmentation of it? And just for definition purposes, if any of you who don't know what augmented reality means and what am I talking about in the first place, augmented reality is in a way enhancement of reality. You need to have something real in front of you, and the camera looks at it, and then it adds a layer of content. It, in a way, it enhances it. And AR and VR are not the same thing, though often coupled together. VR is almost escaping from reality. It has nothing to do with what's immediately in front of you in most cases. So moving on, it's important to make you understand that what's the role of computer vision and artificial intelligence in augmented reality. It's an absolutely key function. If we are to understand reality, computer vision will play a big role. So this is getting a little bit academic, but one of the biggest pieces of research, and Blippar is one of the companies which is endeavoring a lot of this research, is a semantic understanding. And AR has particularly two very different branches, but from a semantic point of view, we want to understand the world. When I'm looking at this world, there are two functions happening in my eyes and my brain. One is understanding it. So people wearing clothes, looks like audience, their lights. I'm almost continuously figuring out what's going on. The second aspect of it is actually geometrically understanding the world. So here's a stage, there's a flat space here, there's a flat surface there are curtains there, there's a ceiling, all these different angles. And augmented reality has actually come from two different forces here. So whenever you're hearing the stuff Apple is doing with ARKit or Google is doing with AR code, is to do with the latter, where they've made the plane into an interactive surface. You can make a robot dance on this stage. You can do a catwalk in the middle of this room. You can put virtual objects in the real world. But at scale, you really need to understand the world. Another side of augmented reality is how can you make existing objects into virtual interactions? That's one of the things we are focused on and doing a lot of work. And in an ideal world, these two would blend, where semantic understanding and also geometric understanding becomes together. And today, I will give you guys a product announcement which is using both aspects of it. So remember, our vision is to index the whole world. But what I like to do now, I'll take a short 2-minute demo break and show you guys in definition what these two concepts mean. We need to truly understand these two concepts before we move forward in the presentation. So if I could move to the phone demo, please. All right, you can see my phone on the big screen. I'm going to open the Blippar app here. And all these, I'm going to restart it. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a connection issue. Let's restart it again. OK, still having a connection issue. I'm going to bear with it one more second. Let me come out of the Wi-Fi altogether and see. What if I disable the Wi-Fi? OK. So we're on 3G connection. So you can see immediately what's happening here. This is a real-time classifier driven by artificial intelligence. And it's trying to describe whatever this is looking at. It's not augmenting, but in a way, imagine if I had to make each one of you interactive, this would work. And it's saying crowd, audience, competition, many people. And another semantic understanding of it, if I position this very famous photograph of the famous Afghan girl on National Geographic cover, you would see, first, it of course recognizes the image, and then it transforms into how that famous girl looks today. She aged by a few years. This is a beautiful, subtle example of augmented reality. So first, understand the world, then change that world. A good use case. The next use case I'd like to show you is, oh, that's her name, Sharbatkul. It's a face recognition engine as well. So if you put it at like majority of public figures in the world, it should be able to recognize each one of them in almost 100 millisecond real time. So these all forms under the semantic understanding. Now I come out of this app and I'm going to demonstrate altogether a different app, an interesting app some cool people are working on. This is an example of geometric AR, where it's not recognizing anything. It's all about surface area. So if I come out and if I am going to choose an interesting character here, just hold on one second. Let's say, if I want to, yeah, exactly. If I really want to make this robo dance on this stage, you can see what's happening. I can literally go near that robo. I can walk all around it, and it's focused in an arbitrary position, literally there. Or if I want to make this Moose character walk up the stage from the audience and wave at you guys, it has nothing to do with immediate reality. It is all to do with surface area, okay? You get this idea. So that's the demo for now. Let's move back to the presentation, and I'll come back and show you something else a moment later. So back to the presentation, please. So using the technology, we have understood the world, and we've also understood geometry. Imagine bringing this together and doing it at an absolutely large scale. So what we are announcing today is a new product. It's a beta, so have patience with us. It's called AR City. We are making entire cities interactive. And when I'm talking about entire city, it's on an absolutely crazy large scale for navigation and exploration purposes. I'll explain a little more detail to you in a moment, but please check out this video first. Here you go. Cool. So this goes live on the App Store now, literally today, AR City. We're launching it with initially 300 cities worldwide, which is pretty much most of major cities in the world. The technology would really, really work well on a 1 square meter radius in San Francisco, Mountain View, and London, because of some technical reasons. If someone's interested to know, I can cover. But this technology it's an ensemble of 5 things going on. The most important breakthrough here is a technology called visual positioning system. What it means is actually uses imagery like human beings and totally indexes entire cities by 1 square meter radius. And what GPS doesn't do. Typically, a GPS accuracy is between 16 meters to 25 meter radius, but visual positioning system brings that down to between 1 meter to 4 meter radius, because the feedback is based on what you're seeing, not by just satellite's location, which is a really, really big change. And this indexation has happened in a lot more sophisticated way in cities like London and San Francisco as a beta test than rest of the world. Hence, the results are better. But it is an amalgamation of several complex things going on, a concept called visual inertia odometry, which is like a light slam. And how the technology works, when you're walking on the street, it makes the user choose any arbitrary position, and almost like creates an invisible point cloud around you, and then tracks your movement against the real world and matches it against images and GPS. And huge amount of complex things is going on, but it's a combination of computer vision-based AI, GPS, visual positioning system, knowledge graph, all the labeling that appears on top of the building. So when you're walking around, not only will you know the name of the roads label literally superimposed on the street, but you can also explore. You can know the name of the shops, key important buildings, even mundane addresses like post office or your own home address. And it solves a very interesting problem, because a lot of people use maps, but doesn't mean the map knows what you're looking at. That's the key thing to note here. The map knows where you are, but doesn't mean it tells you literally sticking on the wall, that's building 555 on California Street, or like the restaurant is on the 7th floor of that building. So what this technology will do, that it allows people to explore and navigate the city in a lot more interesting way, but of course very soon this would be available as a platform for people in the industries of real estate or building city-wide gaming engines. If you want to do, I don't know, a treasure hunt or a zombie hunt, hide things within a city, or autonomous driving, the list goes on. The implications are huge, but we are launching this as initially a case study that let's make a simple case study that if you want to go from point A to B in a city and you want that path to be mapped on your journey, that's what it will do. And of course, there are interesting content layer, and it has a library of third-party libraries, so there's huge amount of digital content, a lot of you have, and if you want to bring all that content into the city and place it in different places like food reviews, theater reviews, cinemas, or even literally virtual characters trying to sell you stuff, all that is possible. So I like to tell you that I couldn't give you the live demo because this is not a street. So I recorded a video last evening and this morning in Lisbon while using the application. So could we go back to the demo screen again, please? Just to give you an idea how this really works in the real world. So this was me walking in one of the streets in Lisbon last evening. And you were able to see literally my path. I had entered an address where I want to go, superimposed. This makes it look really simple, but it's extremely complex to maintain a map on top of a road and maintain the geometry and the information symmetry of it while you're constantly moving. Remember, this is not a map. This is a map on top of the real world, which is a lot different computational complexity. And it's a big area of research right now for computer vision scientists around the world. And I want to show you something even this was working even at night. So this is, again, me walking, and I'll even fast forward parts of it just to show you, like, that restaurant is called Gurkha, and it's literally labeled on top of it. And you can go from a lot of interesting places. So please try it out. Bear with it. It's new. This is a beta launch. It's the world's first. But this technology will significantly improve from here onwards and could become the future of navigation with AI and AR. Thank you very much.